Okay, I'm gonna say something here. Sorry to cut you off.
No,
Apple.
go.
I just want to say something here, but I say this with all the love, Jige. I love Yasuo. I love Yasuo
Oh yeah,
mains.
I remember.
I love Yasuo mains.
You're a Yasuo main.
Jige, this man I think loves Yasuo a little too much, even more than me. Because yesterday he was he insisted on playing Yasuo in the 1v1 and everyone was playing Renekton, and it went exactly how you would expect it. He lost the fastest out of anyone in the 1v1.
Hey, if you are a Yasuo main, if you really
I get it, though.
love the
I love
champion,
it.
if you're a
I
champion
respect
OTP, pick it in a 1v1.
Yeah.
If you're a Yasuo main and you get countered, do you back off? No, you double down.
I just want to say I would do the exact same thing, Jige.
Amen.
So Giyang, would you double down on a
I
1v1
always double.
Asol?
I always double down. I'm always the first pick. Asol in a game. I always get countered. You know what? I don't back off.
All right.
Yeah, all right. Okay.
Neither does he.
Neither does he. Asol doesn't back down. As you heard right here, folks, Giyang doesn't back down. As you head back into the draft right here, the two bans coming in from the side of WRLK will be the Lee Sin and the Akali. While on the other hand, for VNC, it's going to be a Lilia and an Echo, taking away some of those magic damage carries that are possibly coming in from the jungle.
Okay.
I'm actually interested here on the Echo ban. It's not a usual ban that we see, right?
That's true.
But
true.
if we can recall, 3 years ago, Long was actually the only jungler in Wild Rift League Asia to pick Echo.
Yes.
He uses that even at the time that it was not meta.
But I mean, it's a really good read right now from VNC, right? Because it's very heavy physical damage on the side of WRLK. Let's take away some of those magic damage options that they could possibly have.
Absolutely. But I am a little bit curious about the bans here for WRLK, taking away the Lee Sin and the Akali after the Poppy has been picked up. I would expect that it won't get a lot of priority, but Rise will be picked by VNC. On top of the Vi, of course, that's a lot of setup, a lot of die potential, and a lot of scaling in the form of the Rise. Actually, I'm loving this from VNC.
Sorry for laughing a bit here on the background. I'm just so happy to see finally a champion without a dash. I see a Rise. Yes. Okay, someone who won't get bumped by a Poppy because it doesn't have any dash. But the Realm Warp, though, can be cancelled by the Keeper's Verdict or any of the crowd controls present here on WRLK. And a Mordekaiser to top it all off. That is a big blunder to D2C later on.
All right.
Yeah, this is going to be... I like the Mordekaiser pick right here for the side of WRLK. He can choose to isolate someone because, again, we were talking about this when the Braum was picked up. It is the most crucial champion on the side here for VNC. Can block that Ornn Horn, can be the meat shield, the front line for Delusion to be able to deal that damage. But there's now a lot of ways to kick that Braum out away from the fight. There is the Mordekaiser that can just pull him into his ultimate, and also the Keeper's Verdict from the Poppy.
I can't help but feel like there's too beefy of a front line here for WRLK for just Illusion to cut through. So it's going to be hard to team fight these boys, but I am excited for this Yasuo. That's all I'm gonna say.
I mean, the Yasuo, look at it here. Looking at the picks right here, right? There are so many knockups. AOE knockups for this Yasuo to get set up. Like, he has his own. There's the claw from the Mordekaiser, the Keeper's Verdict, the knockups coming in from the Ornn. So there's a lot of ways here for Giga to be able to get into the fight.
All right, both teams getting readied up on the top end. We've got the Vietnam Chosen, the local heroes, and the WRLK, the Chinese squad who flew all the way here towards our beautiful setup at Saigon Riverside Park. Guys, it is wonderful out here. The sun is actually hiding a little bit, so we get a nicer view of the stage, and it's actually quite cooler. So I love it.
Yeah. It's a lot more chilly here, and I'm just so happy for everyone's comfort, right?
Yeah,
because health is important.
Health is wealth.
You want to support something, that's cool, but it also is cooler to have like a cool environment here at this venue because you don't want anyone to have any like health emergencies. VNC versus WRLK, first match of the day. Let us know who do you think is going to be winning here in this game as well. Hashtag VNC win or hashtag WRLK win.
You know what, Apple, I want to talk about this matchup a little bit first in the mid lane. The Rise actually, it's probably a comfort pick here for Kuzi because of the fact that Züge picked up the Yasuo. Kuzi could have gone for something entirely different just to counter the Yasuo. Heck, he could even go Malphite if he wanted to. But I think the Rise actually enables Züge a little bit of wiggle room in this mid lane.
Yeah.
So yes, Yasuo main could find something here.
Yeah, we'll see.
I see like the happiness here of Tatum being a Yasuo main.
Is it also the
Every
happiness?
time he hits an auto attack,
Yeah. Every time he hits that Steel Tempest, let's go.
Let's go.
Yasuo mains unite.
Unite.
But yeah, I mean, getting into that matchup as well, right? I think the Rise was also a pretty good pickup just because the Rise right here has ways to spread around his abilities.
Of course.
So it's very easy for him to still farm up that lane, to harass down that Yasuo. But as we're looking at the early stages of this game, the Yasuo does have a bit of an edge right now in terms of the gold.
All right, bot lane matchup. It is whining, of course, on the Lucian, who supposedly has the early advantage up against you on that core key. But so far, it's been a bit of a tame lane on the Dragon side of things. Whining actually having to use the fruits early just to sustain the poke from you. So the bot lane of WRLK doing a fantastic job of keeping that Lucian at bay.
Great use by Ziggy on the wind wall, constantly using it in the laning phase so that he can get prio into the mid lane and go back into the base, get his items, or any other activity that he wants to actually do when he does get that prio. But it's really difficult to actually win against a Rise. Rise is one of these champions that can just dominate the laning phase. For some reason, the wave clear is immense as well. And I think Kuzi is just going to be scaling very easily. D2C though, getting spotted out, just going to break her out.
Yeah, D2C was trying to track down Long. They did see him in the river, but Long had to flash out, and we do.
Or you know, not only just have like photos with cosplayers, maybe have photos with shoutcasters as well. Please,
you get to meet the Giyang Gaming, the crazy apple,
the GG, the Datum.
Please, thank you.
Okay,
thank you.
After just calling out our names like that, let's get back into the game right here. We are near the 3-minute mark. It looks like the pause has been resolved, and we are looking at the mid lane right now. A bit of a level mismatch between the Rise and the Yasuo.
And at this point, once you get those ults, Yasuo definitely has the advantage over the Rise. So Kuzi playing very reactively, especially with Long. Long can pull Kuzi in, and that's an airborne that GK can capitalize on. But this is interesting pathing. Long is staying inside of that mid lane, but it will not connect.
Long is like, give me some.
Give me some of the gold.
I need gold.
Yeah, but I mean, to also put some reason onto the rotation coming in from Long, right? He went there because they sensed that Kuzi was trying to freeze the lane in front of the turret. It's going to be hard for Giga to recall from that, so they had to clear off the wave.
They're grouping up. Yeah, numbers advantage for WRLK. The last breath is made, not by the Yasuo, but the buy.
Yeah, what a catch right there for the side here of WRLK, getting the first blood.
And GK loving the airbornes. That was a single point click engage from Tiga with the Poppy, and then the last breath immediately triggered by Chica. So that's first blood over towards the WRLK mid laner. And that's a power spike that they would absolutely love to have. Circus Beams picked up by the Yas.
It feels like a counter to what we usually know about Yasuo's. Yasuo's, we know the real power spike is 0-11, but here, he already 1-0. He's defying expectations.
Man, do you remember before Yasuo had an entirely different build path?
Yeah.
Like years before.
Yes, sir.
Going for Divine Thunder, Wits End. Basically
at
tank Yasuo, right?
Oh.
But now it's a carry Yasuo. We see the Berk Boots into potentially a Bloodthirster, because Bloodthirster gives now a little bit of attack speed alongside with the damage and lifesteal and the crit as well.
Yeah.
And it's just overall a great first item for a Yasuo.
Long hovering in the bot side right now. The Braum is a bit low, but he is spotted, so he will be moving away. We did see earlier as well, bot lane was doing a bit of trading because the Lucian and the Braum was able to shove in the Quirky and the Ord. They tried to get an earlier timer on the rotation, on the recall back, but it seems like with the visit from Long, it just equalized the lane at this point.
And this is a bit risky from the BNC bot side. Juan not recalling yet, despite being just about 200 HP on the Braum. Is something that Long could do something about, but they finally do recall as of now. We are looking at 41 seconds, still the first set of objectives do come in. All ults available, so we could probably see a fight coming through. The question is, which team is going to prioritize which objective?
Yeah, normally it's the first objective fight that determines like who's going to be getting the momentum, right? But this has been like one of the most passive games that we have seen by WRLK, right? Normally we see them be looking for fights early on, especially when Long is involved, right? But this time, looks
Oh,
like
more,
they're
more.
gonna call the Forge God, blocking the path of the members or the allies of D2C. Might just get taken down, slammed by the Scepter here of Long. As a follow-up action comes through, WRLK looking to get more. They get 2, and looks like they get a priority on the Enchanted Ensemble
And
as well.
just as you say, Gigi, that they were quiet, Long makes noise. Immediately pops the Death Realm onto D2C.
Oh.
Takes out the vibe, but here comes more.
That score looking to back away. I think he's gonna be able to escape. But the first objective taken by Long.
Yeah, also off screen, we saw Long getting another kill. He is 2-0-1 right now. Also getting the Braum earlier, so that is 3 kills right now. Sorry, that was only the 2 kills from WRLK. But also I want to take note, before that fight started, look at the first item from Long. It's a Trident. It counters the shielding right now from the side
Yup.
here of VNC. If you look at their lineup,
Almost everyone.
almost everyone, even the
Yeah.
barrier from Wai Ning also gives
Yep.
that shield. So he's
Yeah.
countering everyone. It's kind of unfortunate for D2C.
It counters 4
Oh.
people, right?
Jige! Oh!
Assassinated there by Jige.
That's my man right there on the Yasuo. 4-0 and the 2-0 start. Bloodthirster for item.
Just going back to the
yes.
Trident, right? It's 4 champions being countered here by Long. Of course, the Ambessa has a shield, the Bai has a shield, the Rise through the Archangel Staff will have a shield, and the barrier for Ho Chi Minh. All of those damage resistances will get significantly reduced. And I think that's a massive threat to VNC.
Dragon secured as well. Sorry to cut you off there, but Dragon also secured by WRLK because of how efficient they were in taking the Enchanted Ensemble. Let's take a look again at how this happened, Crazy Apple.
Yeah, look at the replay right here. It's Jiga going in against Boozy, and it's just, you know, the minion wave sometimes is very deceptive if you're fighting against a Yasuo. Even though you feel you have more numbers on your side, that doesn't matter. Yasuo will be using that to his advantage.
It's also kind of kind of tricky to estimate just how long the dash could be, because it's not as short as you would think it is,
Yeah.
if you know what I mean. But yeah, yeah. So
I think
Jige.
the Bloodthirster right now is a massive sustain item as well for Jige. They have I think WRK, they're focusing a lot on the utilities.
Yeah.
Anti-heal, anti-shield, and the Yasuo is so strong right now, even has an anti-heal. Yu's gonna be untouchable in the backline, for sure. There's
Yeah.
like so many front lines on the side of WRLK. Like, what can VNC do? Yes, they do have like initiators, they are best in the pie, but they can't. I don't think they can actually penetrate these, you know, defense
Bot
of
lane, though, I think there's
WRLK.
going to be a fight right there.
2v1. Let's see. I mean, we're seeing it off screen. Jige, half an HP,
Uh-oh.
should be taken down, just trying to get a couple
Okay,
of CS.
that's-
But that's a good shutdown by Kuzu.
Yeah,
that's
really
kind
good
of
rotation
classic,
right there.
classic Yasuo.
Yeah, classic Yasuo dying right there, but there's another big fight in the mid
Ow.
lane.
You getting a takedown there, but with the Ornn, having that massive crowd control, I don't think BNC, when they commit, it's hard to get out.
Yeah, it's kind of hard right now for the side here of BNC. They are getting harassed right here for WRLK. The amount of pressure that they're throwing here in the mid lane with the Enchanted Ensemble as well, taking the first turret from themselves, and now that is a 2,000 gold lead right here for WRLK.
We see an interesting item as well on Long, right?
Oh!
The
He
Soul
did
Stealer, as he pulls up Score. Score trying to escape. Good job. Vershanu trying to just shield the damage, preventing it from penetrating, reaching towards his teammates. And now they recognize that WRLK might be overextended. They breach out the tower. Kane's just flashed out, and it looks like they're gonna be fine.
I mean, WRLK just all over the map right there. Long, you don't have any dashes, man. How did you get into the back right there with the claw trying to catch out, and VNC still putting the pressure right here. WRLK under their turret.
And I think
Are
that's a
they
Death
interested?
Realm. Yeah, getting maxed out here by Long. Sorry to cut you off there, Giyang, but that is another tower taken away by Jige. So there's a lot of map control being asserted in all parts of the map.
Let's see if they can get more. Because WRLK, they got the bottom lane, right? Like you said, Datum, they prevented any retaliation by VNC from that long chase in the top lane. And so far, in terms of economy, right, we're starting to see a little bit of a gold lead on this red side team. And VNC, they really have to start stepping up. Because so far, all the tempo has been established by WRLK. They got the first objective, they got the Dragon as well. Both the Enchanted Ensemble and the Dragon was taken, and it looks like they're just going to be preparing for the next Dragon.
But not to mention here, Gigi, there's definitive pieces that VNC have to watch out for. You talk about the gold advantages here of the players of WRLK. Two of their players have the most. Number one is Long with almost 9,000 gold. Number two is Jigay with 8,200. Now, the problem with Long being the richest person in the WRLK roster is that there is no definitive answer for VNC how they're going to crash on this Mordekaiser. He's just gonna death drum away, and here comes the fight from Haeyoon.
Let's see, can they escape? Yeah, they do. It's just a zone by Haeyoon.
Yeah.
And everyone just skedaddles out. Good entry though.
Oh.
Good angle
Whining.
by Wyfin. Yeah. That was quite scary though.
I
Even
mean-
if he has the Braum, still, he can just get that thrown here by Long. And he uses it. Let's see who will be the target.
Oh,
Oh,
big
my
knock-off.
god, wombo combo. Everyone gets knocked up and put to the ground once again. That's going to be D2C already there. They're looking to scramble here, getting it at least a 1-for-1. As Jiggy falls down, good pull by Long. Just getting that takedown. Numbers advantage now. WRLK looking for a Baron.
What a fight right there from the side of WRLK. You saw the patience that they waited for VNC to make a mistake, and when they saw the mistake, the opening from VNC, they were able to capitalize, getting 2 kills as well as this Baron.
Yeah, it's rough here for VNC. It was a very nice engage from Zuan, who actually getting 4 knockups with the Glacial Fissure. But the problem is they couldn't get past the 3 beefy boys in front. I'm talking about the Ornn, the Mordekaiser, and the Poppy. They were too tanky, even though there was the Lucian pumping everything into the faces of WRLK. It just wasn't enough, and they just got turned around. VNC now falling behind by far 4,000 gold and a Baron buff.
Yeah,
Maker completed as well.
that's true. That's true. That's 3 items right now on Long on this Mordekaiser. We had some questions on this Mordekaiser jungle, like how is it gonna work? How is it gonna use this Death Realm? And we've seen that they are using the Death Realm not in front of the objective, but to catch people out before the objective fight starts. They are trying to harass down the members of VNC, getting the pickoffs, and then going for these objectives.
And it's very smart too, because in reality, there is not a single person who can last more than 5 seconds against Mordekaiser in that Death Realm. Because look at the items, he's the only one that's got 3 items in the bank, 11k in his pocket, and it's
Mr. Two digits.
exactly level 13 as well. So
Yeah.
Very commanding lead.
12,000 gold for Long. And this is why he is king. He's that rich.
Long live the king, as we used to say for Long right here. And for VNC, it's going to be a question of how are they going to adapt, what are they going to do.
Yeah.
But Kuzi,
Oh, good takedown. If
Oh,
ever,
Melmar.
the crowd control is just too much.
Yeah.
And I think that was an overextension by Kuzi in the first place.
yeah, you can feel the desperation right now from VNC. They're trying to figure out what they can do, how they get back into this game. And one of the keys right here is to get this Rise ahead. He is 2-2-0 right now. Kuzi has the most gold on his team, but so far, it's just WRLK just knowing these fights better so far than VNC, just really capitalizing on these few mistakes that we are seeing from the Vietnamese squad.
the problem has been that initiation. Every time D2C tries to come close to the front line of WRLK and press that season assist, he just gets destroyed.
Yeah.
And either that or he gets ulted by Long up into Narnia. So there's no way they could use that fight effectively to single out the backline of you.
There's one really good sign though that we're seeing on VNC. Yeah, they're down 6,000. But there's 2 things to consider now.
Yep.
Yeah.
One is there's no soul for WRLK because
Right.
VNC, they got the Ocean Dragon a while ago when WRLK were getting the Baron. And 2, 3 items already for Kuzi. When he gets that death cap, his damage is gonna go through the roof.
Yeah, I mean, we are going to be waiting for him to be able to complete that item and be able to contribute to this fight. But at the same time, there are still a lot of tools that WRLK have to neutralize 1 or 2 carries on the side here of VNC, like the Death Realm from Long, like the Keeper's Verdict. It's also going to be really hard to penetrate through the wind wall of Jige on the Yasuo. So really a lot of things here going for the side of WRLK. So we have to wait on what is going to be the strategy here for the side of VNC. One of the things you usually go for when you're behind is try to set up picks, try to look for ways to isolate a member of the other team. But WRLK is not giving that chance to VNC.
One thing they could do here is steal the objective. 12 seconds until the Baron spawns up. But the problem is, VNC might not expect how quickly WRLK can take that Baron down. There's 3 items on the Yasuo, 3 items on the Corki, and that's 4 items on that Mordekaiser with the Rabadons just picked up.
I actually think that VNC will just trade this out, but looks like I'm wrong. They're looking
not.
for an entry. It's gonna be
D2C!
hard. Oh, that was so close. 152, but Long will still secure the objective now, getting the punishment to the members here of VNC. It looks like Hovenin is just looking to disengage with knocking allowed here by Long. So shuts him down as well. A little bit late on the Glacier Fissure because it's just an avalanche by WRLK as they get the ace, and looks like they're just gonna be running it down mid.
And that's a massacre right there for WRLK, baiting him into the objective, and now they're rolling into the base of VNC.
Yeah, it's just pure domination. WRLK not letting go of control of this first game of Wild Drift here in Wild Round Smash. WRLK takes the win against the local heroes.
It's a masterclass of an execution here by WRLK as they demonstrate how big of a difference their performance can be from the 1v1 to the AAA ARAM and on to the serious matches here on the 5v5 at Wild Rift.
Yep.
If you remember